now from North Europe we go to South Africa with Sally. Sally, are you with us right now?
I I don't have slides, but there are a few things I want to share with you. Firstly, I would have loved to have my colleague, Deputy Goodman Speaker, to start first because he may be going very soon. There's another meeting to attend. But the few things I want to share have to do with the fact that there's been a number of activities in South Africa. These are all centered around what we call the Central Drug Authority of South Africa, which coordinates all activities to do with alcohol and drugs in South Africa. They've been going from province to province. South Africa has 9 provinces, raising awareness about substance abuse with a focus on local substances and concoctions that are found to be affecting young people a lot. For instance, a combination of crack cocaine and marijuana, and other combinations, and also injection drug use. So they'll be having a national congress next year to bring together all the NGOs and other parties that are involved in the area of substance abuse. But there's also been activities coordinated by the National Department of Health. To give an example, next week in Cape Town, 26th, 27th, 28th, there's a global policy alcohol conference, which the National Department of Health contributes to in terms of giving money to the Medical Research Council of South Africa. So that's one of the activities where issues relating to substance abuse will be discussed. We also have FDP, which is the Foundation for Professional Development. This NGO has been in existence for almost 20 years now, and they coordinate all sorts of conferences, webinars, including mental health related issues and specifically addiction matters. So they'll also be hosting a number of webinars to promote issues relating to substance abuse. We are quite worried about the new combinations in terms of some of the illicit drugs, the new combinations that are not understood. We hope ISM can help with that information. But of interest is that we are linked to ISUP, and Goodman can talk about that. I've been connecting to ISUP webinars from Nigeria, from Botswana, and also from Kenya. And they bring information also that they get from ISM. However, in terms of the appropriate linkages, in terms of getting ambassadors from these countries, the response I've been receiving is they'll come back to me because they have to get permission from some of the local sponsors, particularly government, in order to be ambassador of an international NGO. And this is one of the problems that we have received, that we are faced with in South Africa. People say, what is the role of the ambassador? How does that link to our national work and so on? So perhaps the executive of ISM can explain that further. There are activities also within universities. All the universities in South Africa, I'm talking about 10 medical schools, are now having active programs in substance use and are promoting research in this area. But they don't have clear membership to any association. In South Africa, there's one main National Council on Alcohol and Addictions, which we call SANCA. And Goodman and I are part of that. They've been providing rehabilitation facilities, community-based programs, and so on. And they would like to affiliate with ISM, not as members, but some sort of affiliation. And that will discuss outside this meeting, because they actually coordinate the data that goes to the National Department of Health, the National Department of Social Development, the data that finally goes to UNDC. So I think that meeting would be very helpful. It will be a separate Zoom meeting, maybe with some of the executive members of ISM and ourselves. So it's myself and Goodman. And 2 other important possibilities. In Africa, I'm the Vice President, Africa region for the World Association for Psychosocial Rehabilitation. Now, WAPR doesn't have a formal relationship with ISEM, but I think this can be forged. And if we do that through our president, who is based in Milan, this is a very helpful issue. I've put this on an agenda for our next week board meeting, which is on the 26th of October, considering a collaboration between WAPR and ISEM and establishing the fundamentals of that relationship. I'd like to stop here to say there are lots of things that are happening, and Goodman has more meat to put on the bone structure that I've given you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Soli, for the impressive presentation. And we missed to have Goodman. Probably I misunderstood in terms of when he's going to leave the meeting. So I wish I kind of was asking him to present as well in the kind of the first kind of part of the meeting. But we will definitely be in touch in terms of making sure that.
But let me just say that Goodman will be at the meeting in Marrakesh. He's definitely going to attend the meeting in Marrakesh under another organization, but also as one of members in ISEM. So he'll have an opportunity to share some of the work that he's doing through the University of Cape Town. I may or may not attend the meeting in Marrakesh. I've just been in Marrakesh 2 weeks ago. So getting a sponsorship to go back there again, it's a bit of a problem at the moment. But I'm still trying. Thank you.
Thank you, Soli. Alex.
Thank you, Solomon. And that's really impressive. And in a way, it's just a reminder for everyone. We talk about South Africa, but actually it's beyond the country called South Africa. There's so many countries with so many challenges going on. So Solomon, one low-hanging fruit is that as much as, and thank you for sending ISEM material to the ISSCUP, we have a memorandum of understanding with ISSCUP and ICUDDR to share their seminars, to share and distribute to ISEM members the ISSCUP webinars that you mentioned, Solomon. So it goes both ways, and if that information goes to, especially organized by colleagues from Africa, we're more than happy to circulate to all ISEM members. I think that's really, really important. I've been to some of these webinars, and they're really, really, excellent and standard. So that's one thing. The other thing is that in the schedule and the forum, there was a mention about connecting with the South African Addiction Medicine Society, and it is true that 4 years ago we started a conversation with that medical society, but for some reason it didn't proceed further. So we're really looking forward to get again resurrecting that. But we'll continue the conversation, Solomon, with yourself and your colleagues around.
Thank you very much.
Pacific Island. But thank you for your support.
Thank you.
And following the question regarding the challenges for naming somebody as the national ambassador from a country to a society. So we are working in terms of developing the details of terms of reference for the roles of these people to be added to ISAM by law. But that is an ongoing process, and we are working on that. But we are really interested to have your input in terms of even the titles and how things are going to work better in that part of the world. In terms of, there are countries that they like to have a better title in terms of, if we title them as national ambassadors, that is going to be something that they would be more interested to contribute to. But there are countries that you think that is going to bring a burden of bureaucratic processes that, that label needs some approvals or endorsements from authorities. So that is going to be an interesting discussion in terms of, even we can just make things kind of less complex in terms of the interactions with these countries, in terms of having something like being a member of that network, or being a member of that kind of collaborative network, virtual collaborative network of people who are working together. So we can discuss about that in terms of what is going to be the right way of doing that in the future.
I think the term ambassador is still appropriate, but what is more important is the terms of reference for that position. What does the ambassador do? What information can he share? How does ambassador participate in ISEM vis-a-vis national programs and so on? And as I said, that may take long for us to discuss. We may need to have a separate, smaller meeting to discuss those issues.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be helpful in terms of kind of co-develop that terms of reference together. So I'm hopeful that, I mean, we already have a draft and we have been kind of planning to discuss about that in ISAM Marrakesh, so in the board meeting. So we'll discuss a little bit about the framework, but we will kind of share the details of the terms of reference in the community that we have here, making sure that we receive feedbacks in terms of how to update that terms of reference in a way that would be pragmatic in long term and also transparent in terms of the expectations and also the roles of those people who are active in the regional council. We'll definitely need to work on that together. And in terms of other things that you have been mentioning, I mean, if you and Sally would provide us with something like a list of actions that you are going to follow, and if you need a specific help for those actions in terms of having meetings, kind of supports from us, anything that we can help for that, we will definitely be happy to follow that kind of list of items to have a better global
I'll ask
representation.
Goodman to also share some of the points on a slide that he was going to raise. He had some interesting information to raise, and I don't want to speak on his behalf, but he can send a slide.
Awesome, sounds good. So we can definitely discuss about those details. Thank you very much, Sam.